Man, it looks like I have 2 strikes already. Let's hope I don't get a third one. Oh, there's my 3rd strike. Guess I'm out of here. No more Gunpla reviews. Sorry, guys. All jokes aside, how's it going? It's Plastic Disasta, and today I am going to do the review of the entry grade Strike Gundam. Now, this is the second one in the entry grade line. I've already reviewed the first one, which is the RX-78-2 Gundam. Go check out that review. And also check out the entry grade USA Gundam while you're at it. Give a little backstory of the Strike Gundam. It's from the anime series called Gundam Seed, and it's the protagonist's worst Gundam. Later on, he pilots the Freedom and the Strike Freedom. Alright, so with the backstory out of the way, having the Strike Gundam as the second entry of the entry grade line, it's actually a really smart choice. Because I think the entry grade is aiming towards more of the simple mobile suits. I guess that kind of explains why in the 3rd entry they're going to have the new Gundam without the fin funnels. Going back to the review, if you guys own the entry grade RX-72, you know the box art is going to be very similar. You got the front shot of the kit, and behind it we have the runners. Taking a look at this side of the box, we have the contents inside the box and how easy it is just to snap it together, and the posability and the articulation. And finally, we have the front and rear shot of the kit. But cracking open the box, we are greeted with 2 bags of runners and a manual. At the cover of the manual, this is a familiar box art. And right down there, of course, is the content inside the box. You can open inside the manual. If you want to read this, feel free to pause and do so. And right down there is basically what you do on the entry grade. No glue, no paint, and no tools, even though I recommend that you use tools. Right down here is the advertisement of the Ale Strike and Freedom Gundam. Now, I already have these 2 kits. I'm going to review them soon. And right over here, you can show that you can use the HG backpack and attach it on the entry grade. A1, 2, 3, and 4 is actually one gigantic runner, but it was split in half. And you can also break it down even further, which I am not going to show. You have the red parts, gray parts, yellow, and blue. Finally, runners B1 through 4. It's another giant runner, but it was split in half. And again, you can break it down even further. That's about it for the unboxing. Of course, it's an entry grade. I know it's going to be quick. And just like the RX-72 entry grade, I have really high hopes for this kit, and I'll see you guys after the build. Okay, and here is the Strike Gundam all put together, and just to get things out of the way, yes, the color separation is great, the engineering is good, and I already said the build is already quick. And what's so great about this out-of-box presentation is that it's almost like an unpainted high grade. And what I mean by almost, I mean that high grades don't have colored eyes. You have to paint them in or use a sticker. The entry grade, however, it's a piece of plastic. And speaking of high grades, let's do a little comparison. Now, even though I haven't built the HG Ale Strike yet, but I already found another volunteer, which is the HG Strike Rouge. Close enough. Now, taking a look at them side by side, I didn't notice that the HG would be slightly taller than the real grade. I'm not sure if I'm going crazy. Like, I try to adjust it the best I can, make it look like the same height, but it seems like I can't. Besides the height and the look on the elbows, most of them look pretty similar. I see no change in the proportions even if you look at them from the side or from the back. And speaking of similarities, let's jump right into the accessories. I know it's a little early, but it's just a few things I need to point out. Taking a look at the beam rifle, you have the high grade on the right and the entry grade on the left. Yes, in terms of design, it does look very similar, but the only difference is the handles. One, you can easily slide into the hand, and the other, you have to take the hand cover out, put the handle in, and sandwich it together. And I forgot to mention that the high grade also has a handle that can swing side to side. So that's one thing as a high grade have over the entry grade. Next up, you have the shields. Yes, it does look similar, but there's one little difference. If you take a look at the tip of the shield, one is thicker and one is a little thin. Here's what the entry grade has over the high grade. This right here is an actual piece of plastic, while in the high grade version, that's a sticker. And taking a look at the adapter piece, on the entry grade, you can only plug into the side of the arm, which I prefer. While the high grade, you can plug it to the side of the arm, or you can have it plug it below the arm. And also, this is on a ball joint, while the high grade version, it could swing forward and back and rotate. And one more thing I want to mention about the shield adapter. Now, for the high grade, you can easily, pop it off because it's a peg and a polycap. The entry grade, however, when you try to take out the shield adapter, I kind of stressed the plastic just a little bit, so you might want to be careful. That's about it for the comparisons with the entry grade and the high grade. Now, you might be asking, where are the two knives that the Strike Gundam uses? Well, it does exist, but that's only in the light version, because the light version of the entry grade only comes with the two knives, not the beam rifle and the shield. But hey, at least you can borrow the HG's Ale Strike pack and plug it into the back of the entry grade. Does that make up for it? And it is back heavy. So moving on with the seam lines, luckily there's not a lot. And even if there is, it could go as a detail because you do have one on the shoulders, but like I said, it could go as a detail. And there is one in the torso right up here. There's one going down on the thigh. Again, that's a detail. And you do get one on this part of the leg. And finally, you do have one on the side of the head. And again, a detail. For articulation, the head is on a double ball joint. The shoulders can swing forward and back just a little bit. The shoulder pad can swing independently down and up. Arm can go up this high, just slightly more than 90 degrees. You do get a bicep swivel, single joint on the elbow, more than 90 degrees. Wrist is on a ball joint, and I forgot to say that there is a ball joint on the shoulder, ball joint on the waist. It can move side to side, and you do have a little bit of an ab crunch, and it can move back a little bit as well. The front skirt can go up this far, side skirt can move out this far, back skirt is in the fixed position. There is a ball joint on the thigh right here, but it could pop off easily, but as long as you're careful, it could kick up this far. Well, there you go, it pops off. Okay, it can move back that far until the back skirt hits the legs. And as for the splits, can we do it without popping off? Maybe. Oh, hey, look at that. Thigh swivel, double bend at the knee. Foot can swing forward and backwards. The ankle armor is on a ball joint, and there is a ball joint right over there, so it could go out this far. And as for a pivot, look at that. Overall, the articulation is what I expect for an entry grade. As comparisons, here it is right next to another fellow entry grade, the RX-72 US type, the real Patriot. Sorry, not sorry.
Plastic Disasta, I love you, man, but never disrespect Chibity or the Gundam Master like that ever again.
But as you can see, the Strike Gundam is a standard size. And finally, here is the entry grade Strike Gundam right next to Kira Yamato's final mobile suit, the Strike Freedom, and he towers over the Strike. Finally, here it is right next to the Voyager class Optimus Prime and NECA Godzilla. So that's about it for the size comparisons. Let's move on to my final thoughts. So for my final thoughts, overall, I think I liked it just as much as the entry grade RX-72, which means it's pretty good. Now, I know I didn't do the detail work like I always do on my model kit reviews. Well, that's because I am planning on doing a complete paint job off camera, but if you guys want to do some detail work, just paint the little details, panelite it, paint the forehead camera, top coat it, and it would look great. Other than that, I highly recommend you pick this kit up if you want to do like a quick project, even though that is the point of the entry grade. Alright, just to quickly wrap up the review, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, if you like this sort of content, be sure to subscribe. Questions, concerns, comment down below, leave a like. I'll see you guys in the next video. I think I'm noticing something right here. Maybe if I throw in the Barbotos 4th form and the Exia, I think we're gonna have another set.